1. The plants in Tomorrowland are all edibles. You can eat the plants in Tomorrowland, as the themed island is meant to double as a farm where humanity makes the most of its resources. 2. A pet cemetery is located behind the Haunted Mansion. Next time you step foot into the Haunted Mansion, take a walk behind it, and you'll stumble upon a pet cemetery, where there's even a gravestone for Mr. Toad. 3. It originally opened with only 18 attractions and 14 of them are still around. 4. The Matterhorn has a basketball court. A half-court basketball structure can supposedly be found above the coaster ride, where employees go to shoot hoops during breaks. Rumor is it still sits at the top of the mountain. 5. Disneyland was built in just 1 year despite early financial troubles. The $17 million theme park opened its doors within the estimated time span of 365 days. 6. Steve Martin and Michelle Pfeiffer both worked here. The SNL legend was on staff selling guidebooks at the Main Street Magic Shop in the 50s, whereas Catwoman herself suited up as Alice from Alice in Wonderland during the 70s. 7. A secret apartment hides inside the theme park's fire station. Urban legend has it that this was Walt Disney's private apartment. 8. Over 200 feral cats live in the park. Felines are there to keep rodents away, though you'd be lucky to encounter one, as the majority are said to be nocturnal creatures. 9. Walt Disney required all employees to be cleanly shaven. Theme park workers were allowed to grow mustaches in the 2000s. 10. Real human skeletons were used as props when Pirates of the Caribbean first opened, adding a sense of realism to the attraction. Disneyland had real human remains on exhibit, on loan from UCLA, but only one human skull remains as of today. 11. Walt Disney waited in line with park guests out of sheer joy. His love of Disneyland was so deep that he used to accompany guests as they waited to ride their favorite attractions. 12. Park admission was only $3.50 when it first opened. Believe it or not, entering Disneyland in the 50s cost just a little over MTA fare in 2015. 13. Walt Disney's daughters were the inspiration behind Disneyland. A trip to LA's Griffith Park and one ride around the merry-go-round inspired the visionary to create the iconic theme park. 14. It's only closed 3 times in its history. Those times included the National Day of Mourning for John F. Kennedy, the Northridge earthquake in 1994, and 9/11s. 15. You'll hear George Lucas cryptically paged when waiting in line for Star Tours. Pay attention next time you ride the Star Wars theme park attraction. You will hear the overhead speaker call for Egregsackle, which is George Lucas backwards. 16. Gum and shell peanuts are prohibited from the park. They claim it's to keep the grounds clean at all costs. 17. The term code V is used when guests vomit. Know you know what to call out next time someone decides to hurl after taking a spin on the teacups. 18. You can own a piece of Disneyland for $150. That's the suggested asking price to walk away with a brick from the park. 19. The King Arthur Carousel is older than the actual theme park even, though the property was bought in 1953. This attraction was built in 1922. The Sleeping Beauty Castle is the only Disney park castle that has a real functioning drawbridge. It's only been used twice, for opening day and the remodeling of Fantasyland. 21. Over 2.8 million churros are sold there every year. Suffice to say, Disney fans have a thing for sugary fried dough pastries. 22. Walt Disney made a deal with ABC to help fund the theme park in order to help back the creation of Disneyland. Walt sparked a deal with the television network for a Disneyland series that would boost viewership and help promote the park. 23. Many restraints forced Disney to choose between bathrooms and drinking fountains when with restrooms, and after critics accused him of forcing guests to purchase soft drinks, he responded in boss fashion. People can buy Pepsi Cola, but they can't pee in the street. 24. The Indiana Jones ride was originally conceived as a 2-part experience. The creators had planned to develop a mini-land dubbed Indiana Jones and the Lost Expedition, a giant complex that featured the adventure ride and a minecart roller coaster. 25. A time capsule was buried at the Sleeping Beauty Castle in 1995. No one knows exactly what's inside, but we'll find out when it is unearthed during the park's 80th anniversary on July 17, 2035. 26. A flight restriction has been placed over the park. No aircrafts are allowed to fly within a 3-mile radius of Disneyland. 27. Anyone can ride the wheelhouse on the Mark Twain riverboat. Just ask one of the cast members working on the attraction to ride it. 28. Cast members can't use one-finger gestures to avoid offending certain cultures. Everyone in suit is required to communicate with an open palm or 2 fingers to point. 29. The Main Street Opera House is the oldest building on Disneyland property. Originally, it served as the park's lumber mill and was converted into an opera house after 1961.30. There is a secret club in the park where only special guests can enter. It's called Club 33, and it's where a select few can escape the massive crowds to drink fancy cocktails, eat five-star cuisine, and hang with celebrities such as rumored members Elton John and Tom Hanks.